My beloved child. There is something you were never meant to ignore, and that is why you found this message at this exact moment. Out of all the voices, all the distractions, and all the paths you could have followed today, you were guided here for a reason. What is about to unfold is not ordinary. It is connected to a moment that has been quietly approaching for longer than you realize. For some time, you have felt that something is changing around you. You may not have been able to explain it. You may have noticed unusual feelings, unexpected delays, strange coincidences, or moments when your heart sensed something before your mind could understand it. These were not random events. They were signs that a hidden chapter was moving closer. Archangel Michael is standing beside you now with a message that carries both urgency and hope. You have been waiting for a breakthrough. Perhaps it is a prayer you whispered months ago. Perhaps it is a dream you almost gave up on. Perhaps it is a door that remained closed despite your effort, patience, and faith. You wondered if anyone heard your silent requests. You questioned whether your season would ever change. But what you could not see was that movement had already begun behind the scenes. A miracle is not simply appearing from nowhere. It is the result of countless pieces being arranged at the perfect time. While you were worrying, pieces were moving. While you were waiting, answers were forming. While you were wondering if you had been forgotten, preparations were taking place that you could not yet see. And now, Archangel Michael is asking you to pay close attention. This is not the moment to turn away. This is not the moment to surrender your hope. This is not the moment to convince yourself that nothing will ever change. In fact, the very thing you thought was a setback may have been protection. The very delay that frustrated you may have been preparing you for something greater than you imagined. There is a reason certain opportunities did not happen when you wanted them to. There is a reason certain people drifted away. There is a reason certain plans suddenly shifted. What felt confusing then is beginning to make sense now. A powerful turning point is approaching, and it will arrive differently than you expect. Many people spend their lives looking for signs in dramatic places, yet the greatest miracles often begin quietly. A conversation. A message. A chance encounter. A sudden realization. A door opening where none existed before. That is why this warning matters. Do not allow discouragement to blind you during these next moments of your journey. The blessing that is approaching has already started moving toward you. The answer you thought was delayed has not been denied. The opportunity you believed was lost may be returning in a completely unexpected form. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something important. Your current situation is not the final chapter. What you see today is only a small part of a much larger story. Even now, there are things aligning in ways you cannot yet measure. People are being positioned. Opportunities are being prepared. Paths are being cleared. And when the moment arrives, you will look back and realize that every piece connected perfectly. But before that happens, there is one thing you must remember. Do not let fear make decisions for you. Fear speaks loudly when change is near. It tells you to stay small. It tells you to expect disappointment. It tells you to abandon your faith before the breakthrough arrives. Yet Archangel Michael says that fear does not know what is coming. Fear cannot see the door that is about to open. Fear cannot see the blessing that is drawing near. Fear cannot see the miracle that is already taking shape. That is why this message found you now. Because you are standing closer than you think. Closer to answers. Closer to clarity. Closer to restoration. Closer to a moment that will make you realize why you had to wait. And as this powerful shift approaches, another revelation is about to be uncovered, one that explains why certain events happened exactly when they did, and why the timing of your miracle is more important than you ever imagined. The next part reveals the hidden reason Archangel Michael says this is your last chance to recognize the sign before everything begins to change. A quiet revelation is unfolding right now, and what you are about to hear may explain everything that has felt confusing in your life recently. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Do not skip this moment, because the next few words may connect pieces you never realized belonged together. My beloved child, Archangel Michael wants you to understand why this message arrived exactly now. The timing is not random. The path you have walked, the questions you have carried, and the hopes you have protected inside your heart have all been leading toward a single turning point. For a long time, you thought you were waiting. But what if the truth is that your miracle was waiting for the perfect moment to reach you? Think about that. What if every delay had a purpose? What if every closed door redirected you toward something better? What if every moment of uncertainty was quietly preparing you for a blessing greater than the one you originally asked for? Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a reason your journey has felt different lately. You may have noticed that certain things no longer fit into your life the way they once did. Certain situations lost their hold on you. Certain worries began fading. Certain desires started changing. This was not happening by accident. You were being prepared. Archangel Michael says that many people miss their greatest opportunity because they become focused on what they lost instead of what is approaching. Do not make that mistake. The chapter ahead is not about what left. It is about what is arriving. And what is arriving carries more potential than you can currently see. A remarkable shift begins when a person stops looking backward and starts recognizing the signs appearing right in front of them. One of those signs is here now. Another sign is the feeling that brought you to this message. And another sign is the strange sense that something important is closer than ever before. Do not ignore that feeling. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a revelation Archangel Michael wants you to hear. The miracle you have been expecting may not arrive in the form you imagined. Many people picture miracles as dramatic events. Yet the greatest blessings often arrive quietly. A new connection. A surprising opportunity. A conversation that changes everything. An answer that appears exactly when needed. A path that suddenly becomes clear. And when it happens, you will realize that what seemed ordinary was actually extraordinary all along. This is why your attention matters now. You are standing near a moment that could change the direction of your story. A moment that has been forming behind the scenes. A moment that has been prepared piece by piece. A moment that may arrive sooner than you expect. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Archangel Michael says there is one final thing you must remember. Never measure your future by your current circumstances. Your current situation is temporary. Your present view is limited. But what is being prepared for you extends beyond what you can see today. The opportunity coming toward you is already moving. The answer is already forming. The breakthrough is already drawing closer. And very soon, a hidden detail will be revealed, a detail that explains why this message was called a last chance and why the timing of your miracle may be more precise than anyone could imagine. The next part uncovers the unexpected sign that appears just before everything begins to change. A quiet truth is beginning to rise, and this is the part many people never see coming. For so long, you believed the most important moment would arrive with a grand sign, a dramatic announcement, or a sudden event that would make everything obvious. But Archangel Michael is revealing something surprising. The greatest miracle connected to your life has been approaching in silence. While you were focused on what was missing, something valuable was being prepared. While you were wondering why certain answers seemed delayed, a greater alignment was taking place. While you were looking at closed doors, an entirely new path was being created beyond your sight. This is why your journey has felt different recently. You may have noticed that old thoughts no longer excite you the way they once did. Certain distractions have lost their power. Certain situations no longer fit the person you are becoming. This is not happening by accident. You are standing between two chapters. One chapter is ending. Another chapter is quietly beginning. And the space between them is where many people become confused. They think nothing is happening. They think they are stuck. They think they have been forgotten. But Archangel Michael says this is often the exact moment when the greatest transformation is taking place. Imagine a seed beneath the ground. From the surface, it appears inactive. Nothing seems to be changing. Yet underneath, growth is already happening. Roots are expanding. Strength is developing. The future is forming. That is where you are now. There is something remarkable about this season of your life. The miracle approaching you is not only about receiving something new. It is also about becoming someone new. The version of you that is stepping forward carries more wisdom, more patience, more understanding, more strength than the version that began this journey. That growth matters. Because what is approaching requires the person you have become. Archangel Michael wants you to notice something that many overlook. The challenges you faced were not simply obstacles. They were lessons. The waiting taught endurance. The uncertainty taught trust. The disappointments taught discernment. And every lesson has prepared you for what comes next. That is why this moment feels different. You are no longer chasing every opportunity. You are becoming aligned with the right opportunity. You are no longer seeking validation from every voice. You are learning to recognize the voice that truly matters. You are no longer trying to force every door open. You are beginning to understand that the right door opens at the right time. And now that time is drawing closer. Closer than it has ever been before. There is a reason this message keeps finding you. There is a reason your attention keeps returning here. There is a reason your heart feels that something significant is near. Because the next chapter carries a surprise that you could not have predicted. A blessing hidden behind an unexpected path. An answer arriving from an unexpected direction. A breakthrough connected to circumstances that once seemed unrelated. When it appears, many pieces of your story will suddenly make sense. You will understand why certain delays happened. You will understand why certain people entered and left your life. You will understand why your journey unfolded the way it did. What seemed disconnected will become connected. What seemed confusing will become clear. What seemed impossible will begin to look achievable. Archangel Michael says that some of the most beautiful moments are born from timing that could not have been improved. And that timing is now moving into place. Stay attentive. Stay hopeful. Stay open. Because what is approaching is not simply another ordinary moment. It is a turning point. A moment that carries the power to change how you see your future. And in the next part, the hidden sign connected to this miracle will finally be revealed, a sign that has already appeared around you more than once, even though you may not have recognized its true meaning. A moment ago, you may have thought this message was simply another story. But now you can feel it. Something inside you recognizes that this moment is different. Archangel Michael is revealing the final piece of the message, and what is being shown now explains why everything had to happen exactly the way it did. For so long, you focused on what was missing. You focused on the doors that remained closed. You focused on the opportunities that seemed delayed. You focused on the answers that never arrived when you expected them. But what if those delays were actually guiding you toward a greater outcome? What if every unexpected turn was protecting the miracle that was being prepared for you? Archangel Michael says there is a reason you survived seasons that should have broken your confidence. There is a reason you kept moving forward even when the path was unclear. There is a reason you continued searching for hope even when the evidence around you seemed uncertain. The reason is simple. You were never abandoned. You were being positioned. And now, for the first time, pieces that once appeared unrelated are beginning to connect. Think about the people who entered your life unexpectedly. Think about the opportunities that appeared and disappeared. Think about the moments that changed your direction. None of those moments were meaningless. Each one carried a purpose. Each one moved you one step closer. Each one prepared you for what is approaching now. This is why Archangel Michael calls this a last chance. Not because something is ending, but because this is the last chance to see your story through the eyes of doubt before everything begins to look different. Very soon, a realization will arrive. A realization that changes how you view the past. A realization that changes how you view the present. A realization that changes how you view your future. And when that realization arrives, you will understand that the miracle was never far away. It was growing quietly while you were looking elsewhere. The most surprising part is that the miracle may not arrive in the form you expected. It may come through a new opportunity. It may come through a conversation. It may come through a sudden breakthrough. It may come through an answer that appears at exactly the right time. But however it arrives, it will carry one unmistakable feeling. Clarity. The confusion that followed you for so long will begin to fade. The questions that remained unanswered will begin to make sense. The pieces that seem disconnected will finally fit together. And when that happens, you will remember this moment. You will remember that something inside you felt drawn here for a reason. You will remember that before the breakthrough became visible, there was already movement behind the scenes. Archangel Michael wants you to carry this final truth with you. Do not measure your future by your current circumstances. Do not measure your possibilities by temporary delays. Do not measure your potential by past disappointments. Your story is still unfolding. Your chapter is still being written. Your breakthrough is still moving toward you. And what makes this moment extraordinary is that the miracle you have been waiting for may already be much closer than you think. A surprising shift is forming. A hidden answer is approaching. A remarkable opportunity is aligning. And when it finally arrives, you will understand why every step of the journey mattered. Because the miracle was not only about changing your circumstances. It was about transforming your perspective. It was about showing you your strength. It was about preparing you for a future greater than anything you imagined. And now, as this message comes to its close, Archangel Michael leaves you with one final reminder. Keep your heart open. Keep your faith strong. Keep moving forward. Because the story you thought was slowing down may actually be reaching its most important and unforgettable moment yet. A remarkable truth is now coming into focus. For so long, you believed that the waiting was the story. You believed the unanswered questions were the story. You believed the uncertainty was the story. But Archangel Michael is revealing something extraordinary today. None of those things were the story at all. They were only the preparation. The real story begins now. There is a reason your journey unfolded differently from what you expected. If everything had happened according to your original plan, you would have missed the greater blessing that was quietly forming beyond your sight. What felt like a delay was actually a redirection. What looked like a closed door was actually a passage leading somewhere far better. And now the pieces are beginning to connect. Think about the moments that made no sense. The opportunities that disappeared. The plans that suddenly changed. The people who unexpectedly entered or exited your life. At the time, those events felt random. But now Archangel Michael is showing you that each one carried a purpose. Each one moved you one step closer to this moment. A moment unlike any other. Because the miracle approaching you is not arriving by accident. It has been building for longer than you realize. Every lesson taught you something. Every challenge strengthened something. Every season prepared something. And now the harvest of those unseen preparations is drawing near. This is why your spirit has felt different lately. You have sensed something shifting. You have felt moments of unexpected peace. You have experienced flashes of hope when logic could not explain them. Those feelings were not imagination. They were signals. Your heart was detecting what your eyes could not yet see. A powerful change is approaching. And here is the revelation that surprises so many people. The miracle is not only about receiving something new. It is also about becoming someone new. The person you are today is stronger than the person who began this journey. Wiser. More resilient. More prepared. More capable of carrying the blessing that is arriving. That transformation matters. Because when the opportunity appears, you will be ready for it in ways you never could have been before. Archangel Michael wants you to remember this forever. Never measure your future by your current circumstances. Your present situation is temporary. Your current chapter is not the conclusion. The limitations around you do not define what is possible for you. Something greater is unfolding. Something unexpected is forming. Something beautiful is moving into position. And when it arrives, many of the questions that followed you for so long will finally have answers. You will understand why certain paths ended. You will understand why certain doors remained closed. You will understand why the timing had to be exactly what it was. Because the miracle was never simply about the destination. It was about preparing you for the destination. That is the hidden truth. And now, as this chapter reaches its final moments, Archangel Michael leaves you with one final message: keep moving forward. Keep believing. Keep expecting good things. Because what is approaching is closer than it has ever been before. The story that once felt uncertain is beginning to reveal its purpose. The waiting is ending. The alignment is happening. The pieces are coming together. And the next chapter may become one of the most unforgettable moments of your entire journey. Nothing extraordinary. Nothing dramatic. Just a casual message from someone they knew. Yet inside that conversation, a question appeared. A question so simple that most people would have ignored it. The message read, "Do you ever wonder why some people remain unforgettable?" Your person stared at those words longer than necessary. Not because they were difficult. Because they arrived at exactly the right moment. The timing felt almost impossible. As though life itself was continuing a conversation they had been having internally. And for several moments, they simply sat there thinking. Then an answer emerged. Not typed. Not spoken. Just understood. Some people remain unforgettable because they become part of your growth. Part of your perspective. Part of your story. They are no longer separate from who you became. And that realization landed deeper than anything before it. Because suddenly your person stopped viewing you as a chapter that ended. Instead, they began seeing you as a chapter that shaped the chapters that followed. The difference was profound. Stay a little longer. The most revealing moment is still ahead. As midnight approached, another unexpected thought entered their mind. What if everyone giving advice had misunderstood the situation from the beginning? What if they assumed this was about holding on, when in reality it was about understanding? Understanding what mattered. Understanding what changed them. Understanding why certain connections continue teaching lessons long after they first appear. For the first time, your person felt completely at peace with what they felt. Not because every question had been answered. But because they no longer needed to fight the truth. And the truth was surprisingly simple. You mattered. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a larger-than-life way. In a real way. A human way. A meaningful way. The kind of impact that quietly stays with someone. And once they accepted that truth, something shifted inside them. The pressure disappeared. The confusion faded. The endless questioning slowed. Because clarity had finally arrived. Not complete clarity. But enough to illuminate the next step. Then came the moment that changed everything. A thought appeared so suddenly that it almost startled them. What if the response they gave during that original conversation wasn't actually the most important response? What if the most important answer was the one they had never spoken aloud? The one they had only recently discovered within themselves? That thought stayed with them. Growing stronger. Growing clearer. Growing impossible to ignore. And before the night ended, your person made a quiet promise to themselves. A promise nobody else heard. A promise nobody else witnessed. A promise connected to truth, honesty, and something they could no longer pretend not to feel. What exactly was that promise? Why did it leave them feeling both calm and hopeful at the same time? And what unexpected event would arrive soon after, forcing them to confront that promise sooner than they ever imagined? The answer is closer now than it has ever been. Because the next part begins with a moment your person never saw coming, a moment that instantly brought every realization of the past few days rushing back to the surface.